Final night of NBA action before the All-Star break. I've got a Western Conference lock for you tonight.
This is Locked On Bets, the daily betting show that means business from the Locked On Podcast Network. Hosted by Lee Sterling and Kevin Rogers, they're dropping fearless picks with an inside edge to put money in your pocket. If there's action, they've got the lock. This is where smart bets start. It's Locked On Bets.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of Locked On Bets. Kevin Rogers and Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports with you. And as always, we appreciate you making Locked On Bets your first listen of the day here on the Locked On Podcast Network, the number one sports podcast network. Final night of the NBA before a bit of a hiatus for the All-Star break, and they'll get going again next week. 3 games in the league. We have a pick on one of those 3 games, also a couple college basketball games, because after today, pretty much college basketball for the next week or so with the NHL on hiatus with the Olympics, and they've gotten the men's hockey side of it started already. So we're going to have a lot of college basketball on the show. So with that being said, Lee, before we get to the college, let's get to the NBA before they have their break and begin with the Blazers and the Jazz for our lock of the day.
Open it, open it, open it. Lee has the key to the lock of the day.
Three games in the NBA tonight. The Trailblazers and the Jazz, one of them, and Utah doing a great job of not trying to win, even though they just beat the Heat the other night. So the tank is on for Utah. Blazers favored on the road in Salt Lake. Lee, what do you like here with Portland and Utah?
Are you saying that they're actually tanking, Kevin? Is that what you're claiming?
It's ridiculous. I mean, we could have this discussion later. I mean, it's ridiculous what these teams are doing. Like Will Hardy, the coach of the Jazz, we're just going to sit all of our stars out the fourth quarter. But you're winning. I don't care. We're going to still sit them out. We're just going to just stop. But anyway.
Right. You're in a close game. Yeah. And like Lauri Markkanen and also Jaren Jackson Jr., these guys are literally don't get off the bench. I think the last 2 games, and actually they won both games, they have not seen the fourth quarter, not seen the court, and also played a combined no more than 24 minutes. And I think in the last game they played 20 and 21 minutes. So maybe they're on load management. They don't want to sit them totally, but load management certainly is kicking in. They're 18 and 37. Let's be honest. They're picked this year in the upcoming draft in a trade, I think, goes all the way back to 2021. I think you were telling me about. If they finish in the bottom 8, they get to keep their draft pick, and they want it desperately. They don't want it to go to Oklahoma City. So they're getting They got Jaren Jackson. That's one real nice piece. They're going to try to get a top 2-3 guy. It looks like it's going to be a good draft this year. They ended up getting a 5 pick last year. It didn't work out. They were hoping to get a top 2, top 3. So they feel if they can get a top 5, 4 guy, that they can compete next year. Portland, they're competing also already this year, surprisingly, 26-29. If the playoffs were to start right now, they'd be one of the teams in the playing game. So give them credit here. They did lose their last game, but actually they can score some points. 13th in the league in scoring, so that's not been their problem. It's been defense where they ranked 23rd. So 7-4 against the spread when they're not playing on any rest. But Utah, even though they won the last 2 games, this is a really bad team to begin with. Somehow in the last game, all 8 guys that shot 6 or more shots shot 50% or better. You're not going to see that often from a bad team, even though both teams don't play any defense. Utah, worst in the league, worst defense. They just wave at people as they go by, get this, 126.4 points per game, allowing 49% field goals, which places them 3rd worst, 28th in 3-point defense here. I know they're 31 and 24 against the spread so far this year, but it's going to start going really south here when full tank mode kicks in here. Guys are going to get a break here, maybe even after a halftime. They want to make sure they go into it healthy for that second half run. We're going to lay the points, lay the 7.5. You're thinking Portland laying 7.5 at Utah. Don't fall for the trap. Portland here is going to be a level 2 lock over Utah tonight in Salt Lake City.
The Blazers, Lee, in their first two matchups with the Jazz, they scored 136 and 137 points, and they won the last one by 20. So Portland has lit them up this year. And again, I mentioned this before the show that with all the Chauncey Billups stuff happening off the court, and that happened early in the season, you thought that would have maybe set Portland back, and they were already kind of a rebuilding team. They're 26 and 29. That's not a bad record, all things considered, for this team. So 3 games inside the NBA tonight, and then we get the break. You have the All-Star weekend coming up, and then they'll be back at it coming up next week. So quickly looking back at what we had yesterday, just 2 picks because you had 2 NFL futures. We got to wait on those for a few months. But we went 1-1 in our picks. The Florida Gators, they end up dispatching Georgia last night. They were up early in that game. Bulldogs had one of their top players out. So tough L there to take with Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, when we taped this, we thought that he was going to play. They ended up pulling him, sat him for this game. They just didn't have enough firepower.
Now, in the late game, we had our hidden gem, another winner with that. The Toreros of San Diego. Don't doubt Steve Lavin. They came back and beat Portland. And one of the things I mentioned in the handicap was Portland not only coming off the wins over Gonzaga, which was a huge upset, and beating Seattle in the last minute. Yes, Portland was a terrible road team, but Portland also bad three-point shooting team, and San Diego very good defending the three, and Portland did not shoot well from three-point range. So hit that one. So that's good, but it only takes you so far until we have today's action. So with that being said, Lee, let's go into our college basketball hidden gem.
To find a diamond in the rough, you need to dig a little deeper for those hidden gems.
I mean, Lee, the shovel this week has gone to the Missouri Valley, the Atlantic 10, the WCC. Now we're going to the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, the Big MAAC. So we have Marist and Merrimack tonight. We're going to take the points with the Red Foxes of Marist, the home of Rick Smits. We're going to take them plus 3.5 against Merrimack, who, if you didn't know, is the leaders of the MAAC at 12-2 so far this year. So Merrimack has made a nice jump into this conference a few seasons ago, and now the class of the league. But we're going to take the points with Marist. A couple reasons why. So first with Merrimack, they're coming off 2 great shooting performances, shooting over 60% effective field goal percentage in their last 2 games. Last win was over Ryder, who's one of the worst teams in the country. They have 3 wins on the season. So really just show up, you played, you won. Merrimack, the first meeting against Marist, they were 6.5-point dogs. They won at Marist 68-55 back on January 19th. In that game, the Red Foxes shot 33% from the floor, 2 of 16 from three-point land. So they were pretty awful in that game as a favorite. Now they're getting points here in this revenge spot. Marist also coming off a loss to Fairfield as a short favorite. So now getting some points, big game towards the top of that conference. Let's take the points with Marist against Merrimack as our college basketball hidden gem.
Boy, you've been digging deep, and I love it. So there's a lot of great scheduling dynamics that come into play this time of year. Teams coming off some big games and some spots where they might be looking ahead or just looking to try to win the game. They're probably not going to be able to cover. So I like your spot here. What's coming up next? You're going to start pulling out some high school, Key West High, or are you going to pick the Conks tomorrow? So I can't wait to see what you've got the rest of this week and early next week.
Well, we look at tomorrow, Lee, and you know what Friday night in college basketball means? The Ivy League. Yep,
here we go.
You have the Ivy League tomorrow?
I would have loved to have gone to an Ivy. I just came up a couple hundred points, like 400 or 500 points short on the SAT.
But, you got some good spots there, too, in that league. So you never know tomorrow because you do have a big game in the Big Ten with Michigan State and Wisconsin, but also you have a couple Atlantic 10 games, the Mid-American Conference, the Metro Atlantic Conference. So there's a lot of things I could choose from. We'll see where the shovel goes tomorrow for our college basketball hidden gem. But we do have coming up, though, also a college basketball blowout in the Big West, some late-night action that we will go over as well. And again, the betting board never goes to sleep. Even with no football, still a lot to get to. So we'll go over that coming up. You are listening to the Thursday edition of Locked On Bets. The winter games continue, and there's only one place really to go if you are interested in the winter games. And you know what that is? That's FanDuel. That is the place to go. The winter games are here, and if you're anything like us, you're locking in for events you only get to see on the biggest stage every 4 years. And that's why following the winter games on FanDuel just makes sense. From medal counts to individual events to finding your angle on the sports you care about most, FanDuel gives you more ways to stay connected to the action. And yesterday, the men's hockey side got going with a couple games. United States will be in action today. So there are a lot of opportunities now. Yes, I know you love the curling. You love the speed skating, the figure skating, the luge, the bobsledding. But you also have the hockey now. The women have started. The men are underway. So keep an eye on some of those NHL players that are playing for several different countries. And you have the opportunity to take those games on FanDuel. The winter games are on, and there's no better way to follow them than with FanDuel. FanDuel, play your game. We continue Locked On Bets here on a Thursday. Kevin Rogers and Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports. College basketball, loaded college basketball slate tonight. I know it's not a lot of the big name teams, but also a lot of opportunities there if you just keep an eye on it. And we're going to go out to the Big West, Hawaii and Cal State-Bakersfield. And it's time now for our blowout special.
Oh, boy. Last one out, turn off the lights. This one's a blowout.
Hawaii and Cal State-Bakersfield, one of the late games in the with my dog barking. This is not going to be a barking dog special. This is going to be a favorite special, Lee. So Hawaii and Cal State-Bakersfield, who do you like?
Yeah. So the Rainbow Warriors have won 4-5. And you're like, going on the road. We don't have to wait until 12 midnight Eastern time to watch one of these games. They're actually on the road. They're at Cal State-Bakersfield. And the Roadrunners at Cal State-Bakersfield lost 8 straight. I mean, Hawaii, you look at the matchups, have an edge in almost every single category. They average almost 80 points per game. They make almost 47% of their shots. Also, pretty good at the free throw line, 77% there. The Roadrunners, 7% back at just 70%. Rainbow Warriors can score. As I mentioned, 80 points per game here. Also, 37th fastest pace in the nation. They average over 74 possessions here per game. Roadrunners, just 72 points per game. They also like to play fast. So if you're going to lay points on the road, you want a game that's up tempo. That certainly has, all the different things that you're looking for. I just don't think that Cal State-Bakersfield can keep up here. They're only making 42% of their field goals, 30% of their three-pointers here. They got a couple guys here that are okay, would be like 4th, 5th starters on a couple team, but not frontline guys. And Isaac Johnson for Hawaii controls the middle, almost 14 points per game, averaging almost 6 rebounds. Also, Dre Bullock, another 13 points and almost 6 rebounds. I mean, these guys just control the paint here unless Cal State-Bakersfield just starts surprisingly hitting from three-point land, which they don't, and Hawaii usually does. I just don't see it here. So we're going to go with a blowout special here in the Big West. Hawaii, they're going to move to 18-5 and 12-3 in the Big West. Maybe make a run here to get in the big dance here. Hawaii is going to be a blowout special over Cal State-Bakersfield.
So Lee has Hawaii tonight over Cal State-Bakersfield, big blowout in the Big West. And again, big college basketball slate coming up. And with that being said, Lee, Paramount Sports with the NBA and NHL taking a bit of a break, a lot of college basketball still. What can the people expect here moving forward in February?
Well, they want to get basketball or hockey, which is going to be starting back up again soon, which has been had another good season, and also UFC, where we've been red hot. You can get any one, pick 2 of the 3 sports: basketball, hockey, UFC. Basketball and hockey, obviously, through the finals in mid-June. UFC, 1 full year. That's 43 cards. Normally, it was $597. It's going up next week to $750. You can get it right now, 2 sports, just $1,000, or you just want the UFC, which we've won 24 of the last 30 cards, just $597 before it hops back up. Going to go up in price to $750. And we also add in some other cards. We get there's some PFL fights, some Contender Series fights, another 4 or 5 of those midweek or Friday nights that we throw in some cards there also. So almost 50 cards for $597. And those are texted to you a day or two before they come out. Just one place, ParamountSports.com, or call 800-400-9741.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Locked On Bets, as well as find the podcast version on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcast listening. You can check it out there. For Lee Sterling, I am Kevin Rogers. Thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of Locked On Bets right here on the Locked On Podcast Network.